tell you guys. I am inspired by y'all for the first time to do a budget. Like a real budget. Like not just because I'm applying for a mortgage and I need to do the paperwork. But like I'm excited about doing my budget. I'm excited about looking at my numbers because before, to me, budget meant restriction. Budget meant you can't do this, you can't live, what you can't do. It just meant can't. You know? Oh, yeah. And I was scared of it. I was also scared of it because I had to look and pay attention at my numbers. And I was in mortgages, I was in financial services. I could show people how to do these things, but when it came to applying it was very hard. And this is like raw, right? This is really raw for me to admit. Because I know a lot, and so people come to me for a lot of advice, and I can give it. But when you ask me, what am I doing in your life? Let me see your portfolio. That's a different story. And now I'm ready to really expand my portfolio, and I can't until I really see my numbers. Until I really know my numbers. And so I really want to know my numbers. And so I'm with people who are saying we can live this amazing life and we can budget at the same time. And it's, you know, and it can happen. And I want to be able to do that better. And so now I had already resolved that I was going to do it in the beginning, you know, all the New Year resolution. I didn't call it that, but I said, this would be a good time to start. Yeah. And where this furlough is a blessing in disguise for me, and I know people will be like, what? Whatever, da-da-da. I had been running.
So the government being shut down right now
gives me some time to get myself together. Okay? Like I can get myself together. I have time to tomorrow when I don't have to go to work to get my house all ready so that when I'm ready to sit down and do my numbers I have my space. I have my mental space. Yes. I have the mental space and I'm ready for it. And it's like, wow. And then I know I can call on y'all when I need support. I can call on you when I need advice. I can call on you, you know, like we're not the type to...
You can call on me.
Yes.
Me. We're going to take Corinne out this picture. She hid $10,000 from me.
Yes, well, hey. The thing about it is then she has her story around it.
I'm relating to this story so much because I know so much of what to do and I can do all the formulas in the spreadsheet and I know how. It's no different than, I don't know, I have a lot to say. It's no different than how I felt about reading all the self-help books and knowing about it but not implementing it is uncomfortable. And at some point it's so much separation you feel guilty about it. And so that's what I'm working with now is the guilt of like knowing the information and not applying it. And I don't do budgets when my income is low or when I'm between contracts. Which makes no sense. Like, why would you stop?
Do it.
When I'm working, I'm like, I got this budget and da-da-da. And I love it. And I love going to sit in my spreadsheet. And I love, you know, like this and this and that. And I love seeing stuff, my debt repayment plan and everything going down, da-da-da-da. And then between contracts, when you ought to definitely be doing the budget, I'm like, I don't want to go in there.
Well, see, for me, it's like what we were talking about, the detox. It's getting mentally ready. Like, I'm mentally ready for this. Yeah. I wasn't before. I just flat out wasn't.
And guys, as y'all know, I'm your budget role model. Budgets for me always felt so good and so freeing. When I don't have a budget, that's when I feel limited. It is. Budgets make me feel expansive. Now, again, if you listen to Dave Ramsey's way of budgeting, which I feel like everybody should do, step one, that should be your first boot camp basic training.
Okay.
Do that because you got to develop the discipline. You got to develop your say no to yourself muscle.
Okay.
The problem is we're in a situation we're in because we say yes all the time. Yeah. Because we worked hard, because we do this, we justify it. Yeah. So you got to learn that art of saying no to yourself. Now I'm in the space of, because I did all of this, I have all my savings saved up, I have everything paid off, I can now play and live from a spirit of abundance more so than deprivation. Because I do feel like too much deprivation isn't good.
Right.
Deprivation, restriction.
Yeah. Because you got people, you know, now you living like, oh my goodness, I wanted to buy a lighter, but the lighter was 99 cents, and what would Dave Ramsey do? Now, yeah. So I'm saying, so now that I'm living from this space of abundance, and I have my budget. I had to sit over there for the lighting. Now I'm.
Still need her to be over here.
No, it's fine.
No.
And it's like now that I'm living from this space and I'm still doing for my budget, but oh my goodness, my money is going so far because I'm using the laws of attraction now. I'm using all the teachings of Abraham Hicks coupled with everything else, you know. And it's so freeing to me. It feels so good. I closed out my budget yesterday.
One of the most powerful things about that I remember from Abraham is you can create from any point, but it's easier to create and enhance health from a healthy space, and it's easier to do abundance from an abundant space when you have that to work with. So why make it destitute in order for you? Why try to work on on feeling alignment with your health when you're really sick? You don't pay attention to it. Why work on money? You know what I'm saying? You can't do it. You remember that teaching? Like, you can do it.
But I think the problem is, that's fine, but I think the problem is most people are already sick.
Yeah.
When it comes to budgets. So we can't say that it's easy because we're already here.
Yeah.
We're here. We're where we are. You know.
So you're saying start where you are?
You gotta start where you are. So you can't say it's easier because if you're not there, of course it's easy to do something if you just never got in debt in the first place or never did X, Y, and Z in the first place. But we're already here. We're already living what we're living. We already have what we have. But now we get to create something different. That's what we're doing. We're creating something different. When I started my journey, I was never in debt. I had like $13,000, but I also had like $20,000 in the bank. You know what I mean? So it wasn't that deep. I just had a different mentality of, I want my savings. Why would I pay off my debt if I want my savings? Why would I ever pay extra on a house? The houses will never be paid off. It's 30 years. It's that was, so I had to change that mentality.
That was just 3 years ago, right?
Yeah. And it was the fact that I felt like, oh, I'm making all this money, but what do I really have to show for it? So I wanted to do something different. I wanted to feel like my money was going further and not being nickeled and dimed. Even though I had people, oh no, you're doing fine. I ain't trying to do fine. I ain't never tried to do fine in this life. I'm trying to excel.
I think that was what we were just talking about, making up different things for us that work for health and wellness and all that. It's funny because you just reminded me, I bought my first house because someone said that you're supposed to buy as much house as you can afford with the money. All of these things, I can't even tell you where that came from.
And that was erroneous.
That was erroneous. And then what resonated with me, if I'd have checked in, was Robert Kiyosaki saying, you should buy something smaller and invest your money. Like stay in an apartment. When people get married, you got 2 nice salaries, you graduate from college, you know, whatever your scenario is, and then move in the house and then build up and then practice with the stock market, you know, whatever your investment strategy is. And then you can't make up that time for learning that. You want to get 50 and then learn how to do it. You could have been doing that from 20 something. So I don't know where that construct came from that I was supposed to buy about a $349,000 house. Condo at that. Nobody told me that either. For no reason. I had no idea what to do with that information.
And see, and that's why I say I feel like people can trust listening to me. No. What I'm saying is because I've done it. I've done it and I lived it. You know, like I'm not gonna give, like, don't listen to me if I'm trying to give you relationship advice. Right. That might be hit or miss, y'all. But when it comes to this money thing,
you're so transparent about it. You're so relatable about it. Like a lot of times when you're learning it from Forbes 500 people, their paths are different. They started in a different place, but she's actually saying what it is. I was talking to a friend and she was like, but how did she get there? You don't have to, like our other budget channels I've watched, you don't know. I think with Angie, we know because we know for real because we see behind the scenes of it. Like it's a real thing. It's relatable.
And you see the fact that I still have the same raggedy couch. And my grandma keeps saying you need to buy a couch. But guess what? I'd rather go on a vacation than buy a couch. So I'm not going to do a vacation and a couch. Right. I can. But I'd rather save that money until I feel moved to need a couch or whatever. You know, you see that even though I can't afford, I don't. Just like this camera, I tell people I have a YouTube channel. I did not buy this camera till last Christmas. I always did it from my phone, and then I did it from the phone I had because then I had that raggedy phone that was the screen was, and I was making the vlogs from that phone. I don't do it just because I can. You know, I do exercise discipline. Money is discipline, and it's energy, and you have to respect the energy. You know, and you have to. It's sowing, you know, your talents. What are you doing? Where are you planting your seeds and everything? Yeah, we got it.
You respect money and resources. You respect all of your resources.
Yeah, and we know that this is a cyclical world. So when you're up, there will become times of lean. So I don't care how abundant you are today, baby. You better store something away.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I remember I was talking in the car, and Andre made a great point because he said something. He said something, or somebody said something about the fact that we have a cyclical world, right? We live in a world of polarity. Oh yeah, the laws of the universe. So polarity means where there's good, there will be bad. Where there's up, there will be a down. Where there, and I was like, well. But actually, I superseded all of that because I don't have that. If I'm living in an abundant time, I'm not going to have times of lean. But my son corrected me. He said, oh, no, yes, you did. Didn't y'all all just lose y'all's job? He said the difference is you just bounced back. But you did have that cycle. He did. He was like, he said what you had did come to an end.
Exactly.
I was like, wow.
That's
It's just that my manifestation, I manifest quickly.
Also chose to stay
So sometimes you don't even feel it. Yeah.
Because you chose to stay up here.
Yes.
Like I told you that one day where I was listening to other people with a live.
Yeah.
I down and had to like, whoa. Let me
Yeah.
calm down.
Yeah.
So yeah. You
And so-
right, and I'm okay. I'm
Even
okay.
more like stake in the ground than that is the belief system and changing the actual belief system, because what I'm working on addressing my limiting beliefs. I've been writing them down, reprogram. I reprogram myself with love, and I feel it's very ingrained. Like my sense of well-being about love is cool. I want that same conversation for money. So here's what came up for me. I believe that when I got excited when I started making a lot of money and I could go to the store and swipe. It was like a high. I liked the feeling of not sitting there rocking back and forth like, woo, Lordy. Woo, I felt entitled. I felt self-righteous about it because I had the opposite experience where I was like praying that the ATM machine had denominations of 5 because I only had $19 in the bank. And I was right with people when I went to get that.
Bank of America. They do denominations of 5.
I was with people and I was like, if I'm just going to get $5 and I can't get this $5 and these people know I can't get this $5, or being at the PX, in the military and, not being able to do it. So when I could do it, it never dawned on me to change my belief system about having. And you what did you just say about the storing?
Storing for the time of lean, because that's one of the laws of the universe too. The cycle.
Oh my God.
It's going to be a cycle. There's always a cycle.
That was not part of my belief system at all. I never considered. I just felt like it would always be there, and so I could always use it. Now I did a 401k and I had savings and all that other kind of stuff, but even in expelling my savings, I always felt like I could put it back. I could put it back later. I could put it back. Not just keep it and let that be it, and then add to it and make a different decision or figure out a different way. I would have bought that couch by now.
And see, the thing about it is, this is where people get it twisted. They feel like if we're doing law of attraction, then that means that I can attract. But that's not how it works, because the other laws are in play too.
And that's why that video that you sent with that man, really connected.
The other laws are in play too, baby. Yes. And we can't think we're bigger than the other laws. We're not. And that's what Andre showed me, because I was like, well, I don't even know how this applies to me. But he was like, no, it applied. Your job did come to an end. I was like, you're right. But guess what? My vibration didn't have to dip. Why? Because I saved. So I knew I had insurance. I knew I could pay my bills for at least 2 years without having a job. You know what I mean? And so those are the things. But this is what happens. So while you're up, yes, law of attraction is real. Yes, it is. But so are the other things. And these are the stories that's all throughout the Bible. He shows you through real life examples. But y'all still want to act like they're fairy tales. Or y'all still want to act like it was only happened to God's chosen people. Well, baby, I'm here to tell you, you are chosen. We are chosen. We are the chosen people. This message is for all of us.